he's still in the first game even, and it looks pretty close. It really does. So, can't say I'm surprised, and gonna be interesting to see how that one does play out right there. Now, I also want to stress about that. Actually, I remembered I was told this that Squirry actually has quit playing Han for the time being, so he is no
Yeah,
longer part of that team.
yeah. I saw that. I'm pretty good friends with STST and Zephyronte, so they did tell me who their replacement was. I don't know. I think they played with them today, so I think we're allowed to say it. But
Marcus Moy is playing with them
yeah,
today, so
that is their, as
okay.
far as I know, that is their fifth from now on.
Okay, yeah, he's playing the carry in that game as the Clanks there, actually. So, yeah, interesting stuff with that. But again, so they're still in their game number one there. All right, we got some stuff to talk about this game though. Getting into it, Lord South Forest, Tremble, Wild Soul minus the bans. How about that? Immoboy banning Lord South Forest and a Wild Soul with his bans actually. Ends up first picking Behemoth. We got Parasite now into Puppet Master into a Sandwraith. There's the Cersei. I mean, it happened also right after Sandwraith. It's like Immoboy was like, yep, you get Sandwraith, we'll gladly take our Cersei. Grinix, the third
Yep.
pick. This is the only team that we would expect to see it on.
You know, I've been playing so much with different guy in TMM lately, and it's not a fluke. He dominates on that hero no matter when he plays it.
Yeah.
No matter what he lanes against, he dominates on it, and it's really interesting to see because I love Grinix. I think he's one of my top 5 favorite heroes, and I do believe the hero needs a little bit of a tweak, maybe a little bit of a buff somewhere here and there, but he plays it like it's overpowered.
Isn't that scary? It's
Exactly.
like knowing there's a player out there that, yeah, this hero has potential to get buffed because he's just not played at all, and yet there is a player in different guy that dominates with it. So it's a little scary knowing that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, especially if that hero does get that little bit of a tweak, and I mean a little bit of a tweak by like a mana gain, like a small intel gain, something like that, could really make a big difference on that hero. So,
Yeah.
if they do ever make a buff to it, jeez,
Mm-hmm.
just gonna make different guy that much stronger on the hero. But yeah, I love seeing him on it. It's so exciting to see, and especially pairing it with a Sandwraith as well. I think they did this against ECX last time, if I remember correctly. This was the game where he went was voted MVP. Or we gave him the MVP for this game, I believe, or we put him up there for the MVP. Was the game he went Grinix and went 16-0 or something. It was some insane number.
Oh, the candidate you're talking about for
Yeah,
the,
not the one. Yeah. When we put him on.
best individual game. Yeah, let me double check on that actually.
I believe that was because I think I asked you about that one. I was like, I want that one.
Yeah, he played it versus ECX, a 12-2-3 performance
That's
with
what it was.
470 gold per minute. So pretty impressive. Yeah, that was last cycle in the group stages. So trying to replicate that here. You
Yeah.
are right.
And they did it with the Sandwraith as well, except it was against the Clanks. So a little bit more defensive carry and Puppet to at least save himself a little bit. But I still am. I fear for the life of that Immoboy.
Well, now on the other side of the spectrum, again, they do have the Cersei here, is
Yep.
pretty damn good against Sandwraith. So they got that counter taken care of at least. So it's going to be interesting to see how Probusk, deals with that. I mean, the only true way is to maybe get that Staff of the Master, but it's funny with that interaction how we've seen it get to a point where Cersei sits in the base the whole late game, and just simply because she doesn't want to die and wants to take over the Sandwraith illusion. So
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was that one game that Imboboy played against 2-0 where he had to dive the well 2 or 3 times to kill the Cersei
yeah,
so we wouldn't take him over. So, I mean, I'm sure they know how to play against it because Imboboy plays it so much. So, I mean, that's the positive there. So, it should be definitely interesting to see. I'm really liking both teams' lineups. They both have, more ECX has the more of the team fighting head-on. And then you look at this fresh team, and it's just, we're going to find you one hero and kill you. And, I played a troll game last night with Slosky, and we picked the 5 global lineup, so wondering if that's why the Bombardier is being shadowed.
well, they also had the Thunderbringer on there as well, so clearly they're trying to follow up that Sandwraith here.
It's what we did. It worked.
It's like, thinking back to that, it's like, this worked in a high TMM game. Well,
All right.
Then artillery happens.
Alrighty then.
I don't even know what to think here. Like it's not global, but it's obviously pretty long range with the LRM.
I
But
want to know who's playing it.
Yeah, exactly. Where is he fitting here? Like what is the? That has to be a mid
Okay.
because different guys suicides the Grinix.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say maybe they jungle it, but they have a parasite.
Yeah.
So
A support? Is that a thing? Support artillery?
unless Probusk is gonna play it, and they're gonna play the Sandwraith mid,
Huh.
because artillery. I mean, it can be a good mid, but I don't know. The only artillery builds I've ever seen is Russia Doombringer. So
Yeah. And it's
that's not happening here.
Well, see, the funny thing, okay, so I wonder if this is also a little bit of they picked up Cersei to respond to Sandwraith, and so they don't want to go all in on the Sandwraith of the, him being the hard carry. Look at that, the snap pick Thunderbringer then on top of it all. So they do get that global follow-up, so it's going to be a support artillery. We are in for a very interesting game.
Oh my God.
To say the least. Ophelia was that final pick, by the way, for ECX, but
so they wanted some global presence as well.
yeah, not that I guess, but God, what does artillery bring as a freaking support? That's what I'm baffled by this. Like, obviously, he only has a stun on his ultimate, and you're not using that, for like a big or constant stun. It has a solid cooldown to it. Like, I guess the slow is okay. Doesn't he need farm? Like, what is the artillery doing?
I'm about as
lineup?
confused as you are at this point. Unless they're I was gonna say unless they're gonna pseudo tri-lane bottom, but they didn't pull Sandwraith regen, so I'm gonna say that's not happening. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you on this artillery pick, but
no, it's one of those we're just gonna have to sit back, wait and see. It really is. Like the LRM again. It's clear that like they have this mix of a global / just long range presence. Thunderbringer and Sandwraith take care of that. You got artillery. It's gonna be once he has the max passive here, the 800 on top of the 1200. We're looking at 2,000 range right there. So it's obviously a lot of range that you can kind of sit back from and assist. Now, the interesting thing about that, though, it's based off of his attack damage. So this is an artillery that's not going to be getting a lot of farm and a lot of items as a result of that. So this LRM is like, is it really going to even be doing that much? I don't think it is.
It's not going to do damage. Okay, so my logic is maybe because Parasite is starting bottom. So maybe they just want him to babysit top a little bit and then put him into the jungle, because he can jungle. It's not the fastest, but he can. So I'm wondering if that's their logic, their mindset here, is just put him into the jungle once he gets a couple levels.
That could be. Yeah, I know he has a history. The early Ring of the Sorcery, you get on him, and he can just kind of LRM down like triple stack camps pretty quickly eventually, so interesting stuff. All right, so yeah, you mentioned now Parasite. He actually is sitting here for now. Grinix is going to go for the creep pull. Grinix is in a lot of trouble.
To say, this isn't a safe play. Oh, he has okay. They even pulled him Dust. That's how confident they are in killing the support.
They pulled Grinix Dust to get a kill on a Cersei. That's interesting.
It's just how much faith they have in him on that hero.
No, we've talked about it before, where we've seen him actually get a bottle from level 1.
Yep.
They had an Ophelia teammate, I think it was, and they gave him a bottle, and he came through. He got a bloodless kill with it, so he clearly is comfortable with it. In fact, they're going to find Cersei here. Parasite is. Grinix isn't heading over, though, so not going to be a kill. Just simply harassing, softening up for the time being. But yeah, I mean, no doubt everyone's going to want to see what the hell this artillery's doing, and right now he's kind of just playing the babysit stack. And middle lane, somebody's dying. Hellbringer goes down.
What?
Sloske gets the bloodlust kill. That was a case of both were very low. Meanwhile, Denver Pro on Parasite gets picked off as Ophelia ended up coming over to assist with that. So, yeah, Thunderbringer and Hellbringer, though, they were both very low. They said one of us is dying and ended up being Hellbringer, actually.
So, yeah, and then Parasite dies as well. So, that just doesn't seem like something that a Thunderbringer should be able to do. Thunderbringer is very weak those first couple levels, his mana pool being so low. He's just good at last hitting, so I believe Hellbringer should not have lost that, but Didn't catch the whole thing.
Yeah, that leads you to believe that maybe Embry was a little overconfident with the early levels, but I mean, it wasn't even like on Thunderbringer's side. It was on his own side. So yeah, that was really curious. But without actually catching the full action, it is hard to say exactly what happened. I will say Behemoth, he's got his striders, and now he's doing his striding thing. He's roaming elsewhere. He's going to be heading all the way to the bottom lane. It looks like as Cersei is actually rotated middle, so they were trying to maybe set up a kill on a Thunderbringer, but Thunderbringer is too aware of that. He's going to fall back all the way, actually get a bottle refill, and be fine for the time being. So interesting there. Yeah, this is going to be a very unique game as far as developing here into the early to mid game stage, especially. So
Yeah.
Again, looking at artillery now, what he does bring is as actually Grenix. Is he in trouble? He might be. Behemoth is here. Well, he just randomly uses Rift Stock. Okay.
Well, he cut.
What? And he's going to pop right up next to him. Oh, that was interesting. In comes a Fidget Stun. Now he has another Rift Stock. There's the Shadow Step, but of course they have Dust. And the Puppet's hold to pull him right back. It's not enough damage, though, actually. Wait, did they not dust him?
No,
Oh, that was his own dust.
No, he didn't use it. He still has 2.
How was he not dusted?
Oh.
Did he destroy it?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I was just about to say that. He had to have disjointed it. There's no other reason that would have... Because he does kind of... I think it takes him off the map when he does that.
The Shadow Step, yeah.
Yeah. I believe it takes him off the map, so he did it at the right time. A little bit of luck, but it works.
Huh. I love seeing comments about this artillery is obviously a middle artillery. What are they talking about?
Well, why don't you wait for the game to start,
Little
guys?
do they know. It is not. Yeah, disjointed. I mean, I was wondering why he wasn't taking as much damage as it felt like he should have been, but that explains it. They could not actually see him. That was a really interesting circumstances right there. Hellbringer, by the way, is going to fall again. Embry, that looked like a top rune race, and then eventually ends up in a kill onto him. Now again, Grinix! Oh, this one, though, he is going to be seen, and I think, oh my God, he actually gets away. Unbelievable. Fissure in 1 second, though. Yeah, you can't avoid that, though. Wow.
He dodged the Skeleton King grasp. I don't know how he does it. He's so confident. I just don't know how he does it. I mean, this is a kill on Behemoth. They're going to get the turn kill.
Yep. There you go. So all because of that chase that Behemoth had to make, taking some more tower damage. Then Sandwraith comes in and cleans him up. So even though a different guy died in the end, despite that great escape initially, it still paid off because we saw the turn kill.
They just committed 4 heroes to kill different guy bot. Bottom. Like, that's so much commitment to it to barely kill him and then get traded. So, just super well played here by Fresh again.
Oh, Behemoth.
This is the global coming.
LRM, baby. Okay. A little bit of damage.
So is he jungling now?
He's transitioned into a jungle. I mean, he's level 4. I haven't been paying attention, but you look at their stack in the camps, or at least I got this stack. So yeah, that would be my guess. I haven't actually been watching him, but it seems like you see right here the LRM. I mean, it's some decent damage. The Cyclone also helping here, so they're kind of just farming together.
He's out of mana.
Yeah, but now he's out of mana, so
Yep.
that's awkward.
Oh, back to auto attacking.
The homing, I was going to bring out that the homing missile it does provide up to what potentially could be a 4-second stun. So that is a pretty good supportish tool, and also playing a decent amount of damage, I guess. But can you kill the homing missile, or am I wrong on that? For some reason I thought you were able to.
No, you can't.
You
It
can't
just
actually
flies
target it. Okay.
Yeah, it's untargetable. It just flies at their heads.
Yeah, that's
Can't
right.
even be stopped. I don't.
No, I don't think it can. I don't think it can. Maybe that was I know this. He's changed a bit, to say the least. Like, he even used to have the one where he shot the ground and shot him backwards. That used to be his
I
ultimate.
like that
yeah.
one. That was fun.
But yeah, let's just say this is a hero that, whether it was the first iteration or the latest one, we have not really seen a lot at all. So, excuse me if I'm still learning a little bit, making sure on what he ultimately does here. But yeah, he's level 4 right now, so again, we'll continue to see how Bunny Lover progresses here. But I do know that Fresh as a team right now is looking really good. Sandwraith is leading the way with that, 390 gold per minute. Puppet Master is doing pretty solid too, though. I mean, Emma Boy 355 GPM. The problem is, it is really just him right now. He could definitely use that supporting cast, kind of kicking it up a notch. But a lot easier said than done here. In the time being.
Grinix is going to kill this puppet. Even with him seeing it, I think oh!
He got
barely got it off. Yeah, there's a rev ward there. But I thought he was going to, oh, this could be a turn.
No.
No, a battle of many heroes.
Yeah. That was good for Samrat that he didn't actually port in.
Yep, he would have been dead. And, especially with him farming pretty well right now, 400 GPM.
Well, this is definitely Ophelia and what she can bring to the table, of course. So I'm going to group up and help push this bottom tower. So that will be a tower kill here. Grinix is level 6, but not a crazy big deal here. They're going to keep going. I think this is where this Legion team is definitely going to feel strong right now, at least. When it comes to team fight, they feel pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem, this is the thing. With this global lineup, they're not going to hit their peaks until restos are hit. Once they get the restos on the Thunderbringer and Sandwraith, they're going to feel the pain. I will be beyond surprised if Behemoth doesn't bonk the ground at least 4 times this game. No, like, no flame to Zane, but I'm just saying, to have to deal with a double Thunderbringer ulti and double Moth, it's very hard to play against this. So.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even for Cersei, it's going to be difficult. So Cersei will most likely die every time to the combo. They countered Cersei by making it so she dies with double ultis. That was how they countered Cersei.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. And the fact that they're winning early game just means all that's going to happen sooner.
Now, again, this is the strength of ECX, is this early push especially, and they're making use of it. They just pushed bottom, and now they're pushing middle lane. So good to see here for Evil Corporation. Easy tower kill. Thunderbringer running in, gonna throw out some damage. I mean, you see just one blast of lightning right there, and how much damage it actually does at level 4. So the Legion team will need to be worried of that. And I'm actually looking right now for Mystic Vestments on this Legion side, and so far there are none. That's something that they probably want to invest into, at least on a couple of heroes here. Thunderbringer is one of those heroes, I think. It's just like, if he's on the other team, especially in a mid-roll, you need Mystic Vestments.
Yeah, especially with him going to go Spell Sunder as well. So.
Is he going for that, you think?
I would, yeah. I mean, I think,
homing missile's coming out. Malphus going to be spawned. The homing missile in the background on a Puppet Master, though, and that's the target choice. That's a 3.5 second stun. I mean, that's pretty brutal, actually. Down goes Grinix, however, in response. But you do see the rest are cleaning up. Now, Artillery and Grinix were killed. They got Hellbringer, though, and Ophelia just before that. And now Malphus is going to be finished off. So I was going to focus on just the Puppet Master with the homing missile on him. But obviously the fight kind of following through with that. But in the end, the Hellborn team definitely coming out on top. I guess that is what Artillery kind of brings somewhat unique to supports, is that he can just choose a target and, like, up to probably 3 to 4 seconds just lock them down. Because, as we pointed out, they really can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and I mean, it is based on how far it travels, so... And I believe the cast range itself is pretty long, so... I think the shortest it ends up being is... What does it say, like 1 second if you're point blank? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, if you're point blank, it's 1 second. But other than that, it's going to be 9 out of 10 times 2 to 4 seconds, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe that's where they figured that was kind of the logic behind it, that this is also a solo core lineup here on ECX's side. It's just the one carry and Emma Boy playing the Puppet Master. And so, as we saw there, you know, the homing missile's directed at him at the beginning of the fight. And as soon as it hit especially, he just simply died shortly after. So, going to look for that as these fights continue to kind of happen here. And if that's the case, then, yeah, definitely does have at least a little bit of value to it. But talk about being unique here. Ring of Sorcery finished on Thunderbringer. You mentioned the idea of a Spell Sunder, and that would be able to break up into one. So,
yeah, that's normally what they do. Go the Mana Ring into the Spell Sunder. So, could even see Spell Shards this game, like you said. There is it's not too much of a magic threat from the Hellborn team, but I mean the Mock's going to be a magic threat. There's going to be some magic threat. So, you know, when they pick up the vestments, maybe see Spell Shards come into play.
Bottom lane. Look at Grinix. Look at that freaking damage. Now out comes the Ophelia's touch of a Sandwraith coming in to secure. And now Grinix pops the dust. Cersei in trouble. Trying to use that. Oh my god, she's actually going to get away. Never mind. She is dusted here, but they chose not to chase. Guess they figured some more support was perhaps coming in. And she gets away, so. But they got the main kill, that's what matters. Into Puppet Master there. Again, you see Grinix. A lot of upfront damage, so to bring her ulti on top of that. And that's just something that will continue throughout this game. Artillery's a little too far up here. Bottom lane, they kill Nier again. Look at that, too. Thunderbringer pops the W on Artillery. Helps him speed away. But yeah, bottom lane, who was that? That was Cersei, okay. End up killing her in the end.
Yeah. It's the kill in general. Good to get. I mean, Grinix is doing...
Yeah. Sandwraith, the Mock of Brilliance, it's coming quickly here at this rate.
Yeah. And it's going to be very early. I mean, it's 470 GPM practically. And this is where problems are going to start happening.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty high right there. And now 400 GPM again. People, even despite his difficulties a little bit as of late, he's managing 400 gold per minute himself. In fact, looking to set up a turn now on a Grinix, and that will do it. Shockwave on top of him as well as the Puppet. That's a dead Grinix there. So, nice turn for that. But look at just the positioning, too. I mean, I think the experience kind of reflects that. How it's the 7,000 experience right now for Fresh. Like, they're just sticking together. They're doing a lot of this here.
Yep.
They feel like they have to. Well, they're going to push top lane, though, with this. And Imbaboy, he did finish the Assassin Shroud. It's coming out here, it looks like.
Yep. This, sure they're getting these towers down, but this experience lead is jumping real quick. I mean, it's set 7K right now, just because they're all grouped up together. They're not getting as much XP, so... yeah, I mean, that is kind of the downfall for them right now, but... they are getting towers, but, I mean, there's a 13-minute mock on Sandwraith, and that's perfect timing.
Yeah, it's going to work out pretty well here. Obviously, his Mirage is good to go again, so I wonder if another kill... I mean, again, it's a lot easier said than done on paper here, but if they find some kind of chance nearby, maybe a Parasite, perhaps scout somebody out, then that should be a dead target. Now, Ophelia is up here by herself. She is farming the Hellborn jungle, though. She was on top of this Rev Ward, so depending on how observant the Hellborn team was, they may or may not have seen that. But it looks like they probably didn't, because not really heading up there.
Probusk is... He was taking triple ancients, but he was just sitting in the trees while the mock was doing it, so... It's kind of just AFKing over there. It just looked funny.
Good strat there. Using that mock to get some nice farm out of it. You see Grinix now making his way up here. Ophelia is going to start falling back, though, now. And, again, good thing for her, because as soon as somebody's found, you figure a couple of those ultis come out, and he'll be a dead target shortly after. There's the Spell Sunder on Thunderbringer, as we see him created. So, again, a great item for him. Just, yeah, really, Behemoth, he's going to be getting a portal key in the near future, but as you're stressed, this is just going to be such a difficult game to get a realistic, good portal key initiation off. So,
I'd almost... It's going to sound really odd, but I'd almost like to see him go a Shroud or something, but it's not going to happen because it's still Thunderbringer, but it's just going a portal key, he's just not going to be able to get an ulti off. It's almost worth him building a Nullstone almost over a portal key. In a while. I mean, it sounds really odd, and it sounds like it should never, that should never happen, but they already have the mock on Sandwraith. He's not going to get an ulti off for a while.
That's the thing, too. Is Nullstone really even going to accomplish a whole lot in the end? Because you figure the ultis of Thunderbringer and Sandwraith are going to be followed up one after the other, usually. And so it's just going to still have that same effect if it would cancel his portal if you had one. So
it would have to be, you'd have to initiate on that ulti.
Yeah.
Or as soon as the first ulti goes, you'd have to right then and there and hope it's the Sandwraith one, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do it, so Thunderbringer ultis first and then into Sandwraith.
Now, well, what we did see there, Thunderbringer did just use his ultimate to kind of scout things out, and that's where it also is a little bit opening for this Hellborn team. Having two of these globals, they can use one of them more so as a scouting tool throughout here, so that's just another thing that on the list of things to worry about if you're ECX.
Yep. Curious to see what artillery does. What were you saying?
I was going to say, speaking of artillery, not many supports can claim doing triple stack Ancients by themselves.
He's trying.
He's trying. He isn't actually successfully doing them all, but he's trying.
He's softening them up for his carry if he comes by.
Yeah.
But he actually might just take them. I mean, once you get a mana ring on that hero, he can normally sustain his mana pool pretty well. So, oh, there. ulting.
Yeah, well, it's Thunderbringer just simply with that Assassin Shroud easy kill. Sandwraith did pop Mirage. They actually see Grinix right here. He's hiding nearby, but they had a Rev Ward for that vision. The Shockwave's going to miss, though. Grinix pushes them back, runs away. The hold, though, keeps him close enough to eventually get the kill, but in the background, Nier did end up going down. And big picture, though, it is a 2-for-1 in favor of ECX, and they did use basically every ultimate. They did, in fact, use every ultimate to do so, but
Yep.
was anyone low, by the way? No.
No, not really. I see that Probus picked up a Mighty Blade here. Would have just really liked to see him go straight resto. It sounds really greedy, and it sounds like it's not going to accomplish much, but in reality, if he gets a straight resto, he doesn't even need to port into fights to do his job. He doesn't even need to. I mean, it's, what is it, 12 seconds of his ulti just being up hitting people.
Yeah.
Like he really doesn't need to port in, so kind of the reasoning to just go with a resto first. I mean, their ultis are going to kill everything. Mm-hmm. Half that Legion team is under 1,000 HP. They actually are all under 1,000 HP, not on strength, other than Puppet. So,
wow, yeah.
A double ulti would just melt them all.
Yeah, he's definitely going more of a safer route, and again, got to think about Probusk, and that does seem like it usually tends to be more of his play style here, so kind of keeping to his traits in that sense. Those Ancients, by the way, getting a little bit of help here now. Thunderbringer and even Parasite coming over. Looks like actually Artillery is getting a majority from what I've seen, though, of the creep kills. So I don't know if there's an item that they're really looking for in Artillery. I mean, he's going to be finishing Ghost Marchers, I guess, which for a support is usually pretty odd to see, but that's one that maybe it does kind of make sense on, because to enhance his Q damage, the LRM.
Wait, what? Okay, Bunny Lover just bought a health potion, and there was one sitting right next to him. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
Look
that's
at the
his
outputs.
own health potion, too. Yeah, he must have just overlooked that.
I think he forgot that it was there.
Yeah, he might have
But,
bought them from earlier.
Yeah, I feel like this Artillery pick was, hey, Bunny Lover, what do you want to play? Yeah, all right, I want to play Artillery, guys.
Well, see, you could argue, like, again, when it comes to counter push, Artillery is fantastic, arguably one of the best heroes in the game at that. But, one, again, he's not really building heavy damage as a main support, so it's going to lack a little bit. And then, two, they picked him up before the Ophelia. That was a fourth pick Artillery, and then a final pick Ophelia pick. So, nothing screamed really heavy push from this Legion team, maybe until the Ophelia, but they didn't even have that information at that time. So,
Grinix is going to solo kill BB right here. Oh!
Maybe not, though. Maybe still. Oh, my God. Grinix being locked down. Move off to the side. Probusco's going to double tap, but it's down goes Parasite. Or, excuse me, Puppet Master. Parasite getting the kill onto him. And even the Artillery ultimate came through at the last second just in case.
Nier just died to both those ultis. That's all it was. He died to both the ultis. Like, no one touched him. He just died to both ultis. So,
Yep.
This is that global presence, and I mean, this is another reason why I think the resto would have just been that much better first item. I'm expecting even Sloske to go resto stone right now. I think just be the right decision. Get him as fast as you can.
Yeah. I'm almost still in shock that Grinix lived there, too. Now I think about it.
It's different, guy.
It started with him very likely being killed, especially with the shockwave connecting and everything, but he did actually live throughout that, so 3-0. As yeah, we did see the sustainer just purchased by Thunderbringer. So Resto Stone is coming along now. What is Grinix getting, by the way? Or you know what? I guess he's just not farming that well.
Yeah, he's not. He's just being a nuisance. So I mean, has a bottle, and that's really all he needs. The hero does a lot of damage just itself with his E and his Q. So doesn't. I mean, the proc of his E over and over again. So having items like isn't the most, oh, game changing. Look, I have this item. I mean, if you get a shield breaker or something, then yeah, but the little smaller items aren't going to do too much. He's just there to be a nuisance. Mm-hmm. Probably spot out some heroes.
You see he's hiding right now, looking for an opportunity here. If he finds that. You mentioned, again, just across the board, really squishy lineup here on this Legion side. And the interesting thing about Grinix, too, they do have a decent blend of physical and magic presence here on the Hellborn side. Grinix, all physical, just like Hell Artillery, I guess, technically is, too, with what he brings to the table. But No, well, I guess his mortar shot is magic, and actually his ultimate is too. So he's probably a mix, you can say. But anyways, just overall, they got a good mix. So yeah, we are seeing some Mystic Vestments coming out here. At least one on Hellbringer, and Ophelia has one too. But no armor just yet, other than the Ring of the Teacher. As middle lane, there's the jump, the opening of Thunderbird. The immediate response from Ophelia, though, as Malphus also came down, and Grinix is going to fall off the bat. But Sammy's in the back row with that Shrunk, and he's tearing through people, gets Behemoth killed. You do see Ophelia also falling. Meanwhile, chasing on to Thunderbringer is the Cersei Sandwraith. So trying to get a turn kill now. It's only a level 1 ultimate, so the damage is minimal, and it's not going to be enough to kill Thunderbringer. Barely he gets the kill, and then he gets killed by Kongor. Unbelievable Sasuke right there. Puppet Master did survive in the end, and actually did end up killing Sandwraith over here.
Yeah. A little bit of a fault from Probus there. He kind of just, he wandered off without his team. I mean, if he would have maybe just stayed around them and they all could have went together to kill the puppet or just stayed with them, that could have been a different story. So a little bit of a misplay there, but I mean, they still came out on top there. So it's not too bad for them. And I don't even know if you saw that, but Zane just had to ulti a shrunken-headed Sandwraith. That's all he ulted. So
No, I didn't see that guy.
yeah, I mean, it's not flame to him. It's just a matter of he can't ulti. It's just he'll never be able to get an ulti off that's going to be impactful, and it's just such a counter to Behe to run a lineup like this. And yeah, it's so frustrating for him, and he's got to just walk in there and hope he gets his ulti off.
There's a Quick Blade purchase on Sandwraith now, so I guess he's just going to be going more of the traditional combat style here. And yeah, it is a funky area, because now, to be fair, if he does go that Resto Stone and even possibly a Staff Follow, which is like we talked about, kind of being somewhat of a counter then to Cersei, and or to more so stop her counter presence, you're giving the Cersei more to work with if she does happen to. So it really is that double-edged sword. Now, Puppet Master found, by the way, in the jungle, and he just dies right there between Artillery, Grinix, and Sandwraith. Ends up being an easy kill. Zane did as well, yeah. You do see Cersei, she took over Sandwraith, but unfortunately can't do much with it at this time. So, yeah, I mean, but my point more so is that her level 1 especially, it's really not a lot of damage. It's 70% of the damage. So, I mean, it's good damage, but you're really looking to get that high impact items. Like a Resto Stone would allow her then a double ulti to just cause more chaos or, you know, things like that. So maybe a little bit of that is on Probus's mind here.
Yeah, but a lot of people do the Resto drop now, so...
True, there's that.
It's, yeah, it's just... I feel like people have now learned how to play against Cersei, and that shouldn't be the biggest deal anymore. I believe in the beginning, yeah, when people really didn't, you know, understand Cersei as much because they don't play against it, so... But, I mean, that Resto is getting close on Thunderbird. Only got 1,800 off.
Yeah. It's just about there, and that's just something else that ECX once again on the table of things to deal with. Now, Puppet Master, his farm, his GPM at least, has definitely started to go down a little bit as time has moved on. Okay, this is interesting. They jump on the Ballista down here. They finally get him out of it, but now Sandwraith comes in. Parasite looking to help turn and then kill Puppet Master and Behemoth. So they set up that whole time trying to kill the Parasite out of the Ballista without an Alk Bones. And then they end up getting killed in return. And you see Evotica C, that's just, you just know they're frustrated. ECX throws in the towel. GG, well played for Fresh. Who would have thought artillery support? I mean, I think they could have had a lot of supports there and would have had a very similar result, to be fair. But just the global was obviously high impact